The mechanic finally finishes writing out the bill. Eddie sees the amount and nearly faints. His eyes pop wide and he throws his hands up in the air. It's too much money. Even if he paid his rent, he would still be hundreds of dollars short. Just then, his phone rings. It's his daughter, Sarah. He really wanted to answer. This was their weekly phone call where they played games together. But instead, Eddie keeps pleading with the mechanic, begging for his van back. He needs it for deliveries. And tomorrow he has to pick up his little girl from school. The mechanic couldn't care less. He's heard this song and dance before. He brushes him off and tells him to stop wasting the court's time. Eddie looks at the man, then back at his phone, his heart breaking. He lets it go to voicemail. Moments later, his ex calls, furious that Sarah is still waiting alone at school. She screams that he never puts his daughter first before slamming the phone down. Panic rushes through him, and that's when Eddie notices the man's wallet sitting on the counter. He starts to provoke him, saying things like, "What are you staring at?" and "Are you checking me out?" The mechanic gets annoyed and stands up, shoving him against the table. Eddie waits till the guy is distracted and swipes the wallet. He runs outside. Looking at the amount, his heart sinks. There's barely any cash inside. Eddie throws the wallet to the ground. People walk by, but everything is locked up tight. He tugs at car doors one after another, desperately hoping one will be open, but no such luck. A barking dog inside one car startles him and he nervously laughs. He pets the animal through the glass and even offers it water. Still, nobody was around to help him. He dials his friend's number, but not a single one sends him money. Eddie even wastes what little he has on lottery tickets. Every single one is a total failure. All the while, his daughter is calling again and again. At this point, Eddie is so desperate he does pick up. Sarah cries that he abandoned her, but admits she still loves him. Those words hit him like a knife. After the call ends, Eddie's eyes fall on a luxury SUV parked in a quiet lot. He checks the handle and can't believe his eyes. It's unlocked. He slips inside quickly and searches every corner for valuables. All he can find is a pair of expensive sunglasses. Just then, someone walks past and Eddie freezes. He hides his face and prays the person doesn't see him. When he realizes there's nothing worth stealing, Eddie prepares to leave, but the door locks by itself. Terror explodes in him. He yanks every handle and slams against the doors, but nothing works. Another passerby appears and Eddie ducks down in fear. In desperation, he punches and kicks the windows, but they don't even crack. Suddenly, the dashboard tablet lights up with a call from someone saved as "Answer Me." Eddie ignores it, sweating as he searches for an escape. Completely unaware, hidden cameras are recording his every move. He digs around in panic and finds a lug wrench. He smashes it against the glass, but the bulletproof window doesn't budge. When the ringing stops, he rips open the door panel and shoves his hand inside. Only when he feels a sharp pain and sees blood everywhere does he realize he sliced his arm open on the metal. Soon the tablet rings again, but Eddie ignores it, clawing desperately at the door. He tries using his phone, but there's no signal. Out of options, Eddie finally takes the call. On the other end is a man. "Hello, Eddie." Eddie's heart drops. He recognizes that voice. It's the owner of the car, William. Eddie explodes with rage, screaming at William to release him. But William just laughs and activates the seats, sending electric shocks through Eddie's body. He explains his car has been broken into 6 times, so he built his own mobile prison. Terrified, Eddie pulls a gun from his bag and fires at the window. But the bullet ricochets off the reinforced glass and slams into his leg, leaving him shrieking in agony. Just then a woman parks nearby. Eddie yells for help, but the tinted, soundproof windows betray him. She casually uses the SUV as a mirror to fix her hair before driving away, unaware of his nightmare. Eddie's leg gushes blood, but William refuses to call an ambulance, smugly declaring he's a doctor himself. Eddie frantically tries his phone again, but William coldly reveals the vehicle is jamming all signals. With no choice, Eddie ties his shoelaces around his leg, but the bleeding won't stop. Every time he swears in pain, William shocks him again. The mix of blood loss and jolts makes Eddie collapse into unconsciousness. Hours later, he wakes to pouring rain. It's night, and his wounds are mysteriously bandaged. He searches his bag for food or water, but it's completely empty. Morning arrives, and William calls again, pretending to share a personal story. Eddie snaps, screaming in rage, so William tases him once more, then cranks the air conditioning and blasts yodeling music. At first Eddie endures it, but after hours of the same sound, it drives him to madness. That night, freezing and desperate, he rips the seat covers off and wraps himself up like a blanket just to survive. When William calls again, Eddie finally breaks down, sobbing and offering a desperate apology, swearing he won't be rude again. Without a word, William shuts off the freezing air, but he still refuses to set Eddie free. Do you think Eddie will ever escape this nightmare? And what do you think William's ultimate plan is? Let us know your thoughts below. In our last story, we meet a man who learns a shocking truth about his wife and her wedding ring. A man from Ireland was looking through old family photos when one caught his eye. It showed his wife's hand with a familiar-looking ring. He had no idea she even owned such a piece of jewelry. The couple had never fought. In fact, they had a fantastic marriage, so he couldn't understand why she would hide something like this from him. He asked her about the ring, but she became agitated and claimed not to remember buying it. Still suspicious, the husband decided to take matters into his own hands and research the ring's origin. He discovered that it was purchased by his wife on the day she met him, leading him to believe that she had someone else in mind when she said, "I do." Infuriated, he confronts her with his findings. She finally confesses that she was indeed in love with someone else when they met. However, that man had betrayed her, leading her to end the relationship and marry someone else. But it was too late. The damage was done. Overwhelmed with rage and a sense of betrayal, the man ends the relationship with his unfaithful wife. Have you ever experienced something similar? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to stay tuned for more gripping stories.